this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when I feel I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only...
Hello, welcome to the meditation service at Unity of Bellevue. My name is Lori, and I'm one of the prayer chaplains here, and it is an honor and a privilege to facilitate today's meditation service. Today's service will be based on the self-compassion meditation. That's also a form of the loving kindness meditation. So we welcome all that practice and quietly connect together in the one presence and one power that is the divine within each of us, the center of love, light, strength, and the power within each of us. So we welcome all present here, and we center in the center now and online. And I will start with a guided portion, then a time of silence between 8 to 10 minutes. I will conclude the meditation around 10:20, and then we will break for the celebration service at 10:30. So first we can move some energy around, perhaps shake out your hands, lower limbs if you want to, and take out any stuck energy. And you may also just come to a rest with your feet flat on Mother Earth, connected and grounded. And then bring your hands facing up in receptive pose. And let's take a big, deep cleansing breath, a few of those right now. And you're welcome to close your eyes or lower your gaze as you wish. And know that you are supported in your chair. As you please find a posture that allows you to be relaxed and at ease. And scanning through the body, Let go of whatever tension that you can. And know that all is well. Let loose the shoulders and the neck. And soften your hands. Relax the belly. As you continue to breathe in and out, slowly and gently, you can create an inner atmosphere of loving kindness in the body. And let's create that loving kindness with a smile. Just a slight smile. And let's first imagine a vast blue sky. A sky that extends in all directions. And sense that sky filled with the curve of a smile. And everything is warm and bright and open. And now, let that ease and openness be felt through the whole mind. A smile filling the mind, so that your thoughts, your whole mental life just floats from this receptive space. Smile into the eyes and feel the corners of the eyes move up a bit into a smile. And soften the flesh around the eyes. And relaxing the jaw and feeling a half smile, and also sense the inside of the mouth smiling. This has been described as smile yoga as we open to a sense of ease and well-being. And breathe into that eyes are smiling. The mouth is smiling a little. And a smile into your heart. And sense the curve of the smile at the heart and spreading through the chest. And breathe into that ease of that smile in the chest. And this is not to cover over anything, but to create a space that can really hold this life. It's good to have this daily practice. You might feel yourself continuing to breathe gently in and out, and just focusing on the heart area. And let the sense of smile spread in all directions throughout the body. The arms relaxed, the belly, the legs. Open, receptive, and at ease. And with the attention centered at the heart, spring to mind someone you feel easy to feel love with, someone who you trust and fully loves or accepts you like a parent or a friend or a pet, or even a teacher, or a child, or someone who arouses your protectiveness and care like a child or a pet, or someone vulnerable. And whoever you have brought to mind, Sense that being's goodness. What makes that person dear to you? What brings up your sense of care? It may be how this person expresses their love, their aliveness, their humor, their care. Feel that being right close in, and so that you can look into this person's eyes or this being's eyes and sense in their eyes as they express their warmth, their brightness, their goodness, and just take in that warmth. As you know, in our practice, all are part of the divine love, power, and presence, and we move in considering the other that is easy to love as ourselves. And let's try that now. As you bring your attention to your own being, allow yourself to remember and open up to our basic goodness. You may recall your essential awakeness, aliveness, honesty, and love. If acknowledging self-love is challenging, look through the eyes of someone who loves you and appreciates you. Or see yourself through a holy being like Jesus or Kuan Yin or the Buddha. And when you can feel the loving feeling for yourself, rest in that moment for a while. And as we continue to feel love, know these words as your own. May I be filled with loving kindness, held in loving kindness. May I know loving kindness as my essence. May I be happy. May I accept myself just as I am. May I feel peaceful and safe. May my heart and mind awaken and be free. And just think of those phrases as we go into the silence. Be open to what may awaken within you, your true nature as a divine being of love, light, and know the truth within. May I be filled with loving kindness, held in loving kindness, and knowing loving kindness is my essence now, as we go into silence. And again, we connect to the knowing. May I be happy. May I accept myself just as I am. May you be happy. May you accept yourself just as you are. May we all be happy. May we accept ourselves just as we are. May we be peaceful and safe. May our hearts awaken and be free. And thank you for remembering to connect to that love, strength, wisdom within, knowing that even when there are clouds, there is a clear blue sky expanding in all directions. So we breathe again into this now moment and focus on the present and seeing all the others who are on the journey with us. We give thanks for all those joining us here and online, and for the technology that allows us to come together in this love and comfort and blessing. And thank you for joining me for this meditation today. So the prayer chaplains are available for prayer. If you want to send a prayer request at prayerchaplain@unityofbellevue.org, we'll answer your prayer request there. If you just want to talk with someone, you can leave your contact information in that email as well. We also have the prayer box in person here in the center, right outside the library in the near the south doors, south entrance. And you can drop off a paper request in person. And these prayers are prayed over by our local team, and then they are sent to Silent Unity to be prayed over for an additional 30 days. And so today we are going to gather for questions and answers with our fabulous Board of Trustees and Monica, our admin. And so we'll be hosting that online and in person. I think it's about 5 minutes after the main celebration ends. So we'll see you here at 10:30 for our celebration service, and thank you for joining us.
Trust love, trust love, trust God, that love is everywhere, that we are here to be the perfect givers of love and receivers of love. And love will have the final word. Trust love, trust love, trust God. That love is everywhere, that we are here to be the perfect givers of love and receivers of love, and love will have the final word. No one ever loses when one trusts love, for love is something that will not ever fail. Love is the essence of the Spirit that is known by always giving. Love always sees the truth beyond the appearance that is showing. Love judges not, and love renews. Yes, love renews. Love is a healer. Oh, yes, it is. Love loves to love. Love loves to love, and we'll keep on being loved, and we'll keep on being loved. This is its holy way. receivers of love, and love will have the final word. No one ever loses when one trusts to love. To love is to live within the holy breath of God. Love is the essence of the Spirit that is known by always giving. Love always sees the truth beyond the appearance that is showing. Love judges not, and love renews. Yes, love renews. Love is a healer. Oh, yes, it is. Love loves to love. Love loves to love. And we'll keep on being love. And we'll keep on being love. This is its holy way. So trust love and lean on love. Trust God that love is everywhere, that we are here to be the perfect givers of the love and receivers of love, and love will have the final word. We are here to be the perfect givers of the love and receivers of love, and love will have the final word. Love will have the final word.
We are goodness, grace beyond measure. We are peace, here and now. We are wholeness, thriving perfection. We are love. We are love. We are life, free and abundant. We are joy, awakened and wild. We are spirit, open and boundless. We are love. We are love. We are spirit, open and boundless. We are love. We are love.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. My decision.
Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Bellevue. Here at Unity of Bellevue, we celebrate the innate goodness of every person, the innate divinity that is in each person. And whether you are joining us on site or online, we are all here in person. And so we make no division between our community that is on site and online. We are all connected in consciousness and in energy, and we welcome you. My name is Monica McDowell-Elvig. I'm the center administrator. I'm also doing temporary operations managing duties while we are in our transition. We welcome you all. We have several people who are helping run this service. Lori Coleman was our meditation facilitator. Thank you, Lori. Rita Schwarting is our board host this morning, so thank you, Rita. And we have virtual guest speaker and guest artist this morning. Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson from Baltimore is going to be with us on the big screen. And Mark Stanton Welch is our virtual guest artist. We are so grateful for this technology that allows us to utilize people from around the country to speak and to share their musical talents with us. So Mark is going to kick us off with our community song for the day, his own song, So Connected.
Well, good morning, all. We are connected indeed. You and I are so connected. Heart to heart, a golden thread. Through it we can feel, we feel love, love, love. And through it we unite as one. So I'm going to do it again and just do a line and then I'll repeat it. That way you can get, oh, there are the words. You and I are so connected. Heart to heart, a golden thread. Through it we can feel, we feel love, love, love. Through it we unite as one. Back to the top. You and I are so connected. Heart to heart. Heart to heart, a golden thread. Through it we can feel, we feel love, love, love. And through it we unite as one. One more time. You and I are so connected. Heart to heart, a golden thread. Through it we can feel, we feel the love, love, love. And through it we unite as one. Through it we feel, through it we can feel. We feel love, love, love. Through it we unite as one.
We invoke the divine heart, the living awareness that we are all one. We are all connected. We are a part of the divine consciousness, the energy, the feeling tone, the vibration of unconditional love and compassion. We know that within this loving awareness, we live and move and have our very being. That nothing exists apart from this love. We open our hearts, we breathe in with a sacred breath. We allow the divine heart to breathe us, to be us. Breathing in a sacred breath again, and then when we breathe out, we release anything that's ready to be released in this moment. We declare, we affirm this time, this service is sacred, it is holy. We are so grateful, and so it is.
Gonna take my hands, gonna lift them high, gonna shake those hands in the bright blue sky. Gonna shout out loud to the whole wide earth. Well, I'm a child of God. Love is my work. Gonna take my feet, move them up and down. Gonna stomp those feet all over this town. I'm going to shout out loud to the whole wide earth that I'm a child of God. Love is my work. Well, I am full of glory. I'm sweet, I am divine. Spirit rumbles through me. She lifts me and I shine. Look into my eyes. You will see the universe. Look into my heart, see that love I've been since birth. I'm going to take that love, spread it high and low. I'm going to give that love to everywhere I go. I'm going to shout out loud to the whole wide earth. Well, I'm a child of God. Love is my work. If you think you're pure, sweet, and holy, say amen, amen. If you think you're powerful, show me, say amen, amen. If you trust these very words I'm singing, say amen, amen. If you think that love's the finest way, say amen, amen. I'm going to take that love, spread it high and low. I'm going to give that love everywhere I go. I'm going to shout out loud to the whole wide earth that I'm a child of God. Love is my work. Love is my work. Love is my work. Love is my work. Love is my work.
Thank you, Mark. Love is our work. That's a great way to think of this month of February, this month of love. I'm going to read our guest speaker's bio, and then we'll go to a reading followed by the affirmation. Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson, we've had him when we were Zooming during COVID before. We've had him speak a couple of times, so he's not new to us, but he may be new to a few of you. So here's a little bit about Reverend Dr. Raymont. He is a ordained minister with the Centers for Spiritual Living. He's a lifelong learner with a passion for self-development, personal transformation, transmutation, and transfiguration. He lives his bliss as a teacher, minister, author, visual artist, ASL performing artist, mentor, father, grandfather, and more by giving people applicable tools and practices that enable them to live a more fulfilled life, recognizing, realizing, and materializing their full divine potential. And that's capital FDP, full divine potential. He also teaches workshops and classes related to empowered living and authentic living, loving oneself, new thought spirituality and LGBTQI, communication, holistic health, and more. He is currently serving as the spiritual director for the Center for Spiritual Living in Greater Baltimore, and we are so grateful that you are with us, Reverend Dr. Raymont, that you are here online to share what the Spirit has led you to speak to us today. You are a blessing to us. We know that your talk will be a blessing as well, and we affirm that this time, this shared time together, will also be a blessing for you. Thank you for being with us. For our reading this morning, I'm going to be reading from Psalm 67, from Psalms for Praying by Nancy Merrill. The one thing that I just love about this compilation of Psalms is that the author has replaced the word God and Lord with love and beloved. And it makes for easy reading. So enjoy, listen with your spiritual ears to hear what the Spirit will say to you. The beloved is gracious to us and blesses us. The radiant one shines upon us. Oh, that love's way be followed in all the earth, love's power among all the nations. May the people rejoice in love. May all people sing with gratitude to the beloved. Let the nations be glad and give thanks, for you call the people to integrity and justice. You guide the nations upon the earth. May the people rejoice in love. May all people sing with gratitude to the beloved. The earth yields its harvest. The beloved blesses us. Yes, the beloved blesses us. Let us abandon ourselves into the heart of love. And as we think of the Olympics in China and of the tensions in Europe, we call forth this love for all nations today. For our affirmation this morning, I'm going to read it through once. You can just sit and allow the words to sink into your heart and soul, and then we will repeat it together in one voice. I affirm that love is my reality. I practice unconditional regard and compassion for myself and for the other. And this practice honors my highest and best good. Love is my key to spiritual awareness and transformation. It is the secret sauce that keeps all of our hearts connected in unity and oneness. We open our hearts now to more love, and so it is. Let's join together in one voice. Oh, it's not there. We're looking for the affirmation slide or words. There we go. Thank you. I affirm that love is my reality. It's an old one. Okay. Well, I'll just say it again and just let it allow to sink into your hearts again, okay? I affirm that love is my reality. I practice unconditional regard and compassion for myself and for the other. And this practice honors my highest and best good. Love is my key to spiritual awareness and transformation. It is the secret sauce that keeps all of our hearts connected in unity and oneness. We open our hearts now to more love, and so it is.
Once again, I am so delighted to be here, and what a privilege. Last time I was there, I was actually there, standing on that beautiful stage. I just want to acknowledge a couple pals of mine, loving pals to my left here. That's couple guys that I believe you know. That's the Tin Man, who's steadfast in that love and was always the most loving. And then there's Tigger, who's the ambassador of love and frivolity and how it blossoms. I'm standing in the line. I turn, I catch the person's eyes. I can turn away, or I can give a smile. It's my chance to make a difference, to brighten up a day. I praise a God within, I send a precious love bouquet. A man is seeking money, he is living on that street. I can see his sign, I judge, I'm thinking he'll drink instead of eat. So I start to turn the corner. When I turn to see his face, I see the God within him. I place 20 on his plate. Throughout the day they come, moments meant for me. Throughout the day life, she just lays them at my feet. She says, have compassion. She says, take the risk. She says, go on just to love the one you're with. She says, go on and love the one you're with. That spider in the bathtub, or the fly upon the wall, or the traffic jam, the couple fighting somewhere down the hall, or the man who cut before me, or the waitress late and rude. Within these golden moments lies the fundamental truth. To get the love I want, I must give that love I seek. For as I do for you, my friend, someone will do for me. You see, these laws of love, they're written and they're embedded in the heart. So what stands right here before me, that's a perfect place to start. Oh, so Lord, give me situations to practice loving sweet and ease the pain of living, yes, in everyone I meet. And let me grow in bunches from the inside to the out. And let me know that love is all I'll ever be about. Throughout the day they come, moments meant for me. And throughout the day life, she just lays them at my feet. She says, have compassion. She says, take the risk. She says, go on just to love the one you're with. Yeah, she says, go on and love the one you're with. She says, go on and love the one you're with. So I'm standing in the line, I turn, I catch that person's eye. I can turn away, or I can give a smile.
Namaste and blessings. Thank you for that, Mark. That is an amazing reminder. Love the one you're with. And check this out, because we understand and we recognize, I mean, what do we say? That we understand that God is all there is. It's the infinite one. So everyone, including that spider he talked about and that fly, all are divine emanations, incarnations, expressions of the one. So of course, I'm loving the one I'm with. Breathe. Thank you. And yes, Unity of Bellevue, we are together again, and we have this amazing opportunity through this thing called technology to connect and to remember our infinite oneness, our goodness, and the power and presence expressing, living, moving, and having its beingness as us. So we breathe, because today, we're talking about what's love got to do with it? And yeah, there's an easy answer to that. What's love got to do with it? Because we use the word very often. I love you. We use the word very often. Oh, I love the Olympics. We use the word very often, very often. And yet there's that piece. There's that piece that came up in the affirmation that Reverend Monica mentioned. Practice. I practice. So it's one thing to say, talk about love. It's a completely different thing to really bring love into practice. So then it becomes a question of, what's love got to do with fill in the blank? What's love got to do with my job? What's love got to do with my relationships, especially those relationships that right now feel dysfunctional? What's love? What is love inviting me or calling me to practice regarding this? And then when we really are feeling the expansiveness and the power that we have, we then say things like, what is love calling me to do regarding such things as global warming? What's love got to do with that? What's love got to do with any of the dysfunction that is happening in the world? What's love got to do with new thought? And I mean, really, as an applicable practice, what's love got to do with it? And especially when we think about, so the Greeks, for them, the one word, love, was not enough. For the Greeks had to say, when I speak of love, I speak of eros, romantic and passionate love. I speak of philia, the intimate love of friendship. I speak of storge, unconditional love of family. Like that love. A rose by any other name would smell as sweet, according to Shakespeare. So why did the Greeks feel this need to label and separate and categorize the various types of love? Agape, unconditional love, love without limits. I love you because I am called to love the one I am with. Doesn't matter if you are the person on the street with a can saying, feed me, I am homeless. It doesn't matter if you are the spider. It doesn't matter. You get ready to bite me and make me Spider-Man? Cool. Like, it doesn't matter who the one is. Love says agape, love the one you're with, without conditions. Well, I'll love you if you get an A on your report card. I'll love you if you tithe an extra $10 per week. I'll love you if. Is that the kind of love we are talking about? Clearly not, because we recognize that the love of spirit, the love of source, the love of the universe, the love of God, which, check this out, love and God are synonymous. I can easily interswap. So what I am recognizing is that love is all there is. And because love is all there is, love is the very cellular structure of my body, manifesting, demonstrating, living, moving, and breathing itself as me. What if the only reason, and let's really go here. What if the only reason that Mark is able to bring such magnificent words and energy through song is because he is the exact demonstration of love made flesh. He is love singing the love song into creation. What if the reason Reverend Monica can stand up and give an affirmation and Daniel can do the amazing work backstage, and Sabrina can do the amazing work backstage, and Lori can do that amazing pre-service meditation, is because each and every one is the one living, moving, and having its beingness as each one of us. Love incarnating, love made flesh. So the idea is, or the question is, how do I show up as that, right? It's not about do I or do I not? That is not the question. The question is, when I know, I'm going to use Mark as, see, it's Mark's fault. Mark brought in two of my best buddies too, the Tin Man and Tigger. Come on now. Hey, so there's this idea that there are times when the song calls itself to be sung. Isn't that what inspiration is? And if we extrapolate and say, well, what does inspiration mean? The root of inspiration means I am in spirit. And spirit is all there is. A circle, circumference nowhere, center everywhere. There is nowhere we could go that we are out of spirit. Because we talk about, for linguistic convenience, the spirit within. God is within, but we recognize God is all there is. So let's backtrack. I have skin. Go backwards. Eventually we get to the point where we get cells, and the cells make up my skin. But go further, deeper, deeper, deeper. We eventually get to molecules. Deeper, deeper, deeper. We get to atoms. Deeper, 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 we find love. Love is that gold thread that Mark sung about. Love is that connective tissue that all of creation is made. Love is the building blocks, the very building blocks of everything. So the question is not, do I have love? In the same way that in the Bible, there's a passage that says, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, which is a tiny little thing. If you've never seen a mustard seed, I invite you to find one. Tiny little thing. And the idea is we talk about, do I have faith? Reverend Monica, do you have faith? Sabrina, do you have faith? Mark asked me, Ray, do you have faith? And eventually we get to the point where we recognize that the universe, God, doesn't have faith. God is faith in action. So that's why it says, and there was word, and the word was flesh, and the word was made flesh, and God said, let there be light, and there was light. Boom. That's not having faith, because if I simply have it, then I can lose it. Faith has us. Faith is all there is because God is all there is. Same thing for love. It's not about, do I have love? It's about, am I availing myself to be love? Am I availing myself to put into practice what it means to say it, to think about it, to feel it, to express it? Or am I withholding it? Am I saying, yo, dude, get a job. Pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. Get a job is what I did. Do it. And I judge, and I refuse to be of service in the world. I do what the other religious and sanctimonious people did in the story of the Good Samaritan, and I step around, turn away from the very person who I am being invited to love, to support, to pour into. Am I turning away? Am I dimming my love? What am I choosing to do? What am I choosing to align with? Am I allowing the mal-alignment of jealousy, calling it love, but recognizing jealousy is actually lack and scarcity? I feel that someone else is getting the love that I should have because there isn't enough love to go around. There isn't enough love to go around? Hold on. Let's sorry, Mark, I'm pulling you in this again. See, if you wasn't so good, right? But let me ask Mark. Mark, if you got a guitar, at what point do you play and you hit the last note and there is no more music that can ever be played. That doesn't happen, right? Like clearly, play and play and play and play and play. And Mark is now living to the ripe old age of 4,924 million. And there's still songs that can and will be, not just can be, but will be sung, will be played, will be expressed. How is that any different than love? Love cannot run dry. It is God in expression. The dictionary defines love, as a noun, saying it is an intense feeling of affection, such as children fill their parents with feelings of love. It is also something of great interest, pleasure in something, such as his love for football. But then we get to love is a verb. Ooh. Did you hear what I said? Remember Reverend Monica said in the affirmation, I practice. Ooh, that's a verb. Ooh. Ooh, breathe on that one. It's a verb. Feeling that deep affection for someone, loving one I'm with. Bring it into expression as a verb. And if I were to say, if I say to Sabrina, is there anyone you love? Sabrina's going to say yes. And if I were to say, prove it to me. Can you prove to me that can you show me the love? No, none of us can show the love, but we have acts of service that are moved from the energy of love, that we feel it and we know it. So we are called and invited to walk the walk, to let love move us, to let love be the words that marinate in our consciousness, that they are the words that flow across our tongue in song, in words, in affirmation, in prayer, in meditation, in simply, hey, Bob, how are you today? And the energy of love is connected through the space between the words in the vibration as God speaks to itself as that person, as this person, as all. Is that not why we say namaste? The divine love in me, as me, sees itself in, through, and as you. And because it recognizes its own beauty and divinity, it bows in reverence. That's a verb. Now, in New Thought, because we use it as a synonym for we use love as a synonym for God. Well, what happens when we say there is one power and one presence, love, omnipotent, love, omniscient, love, omnipresent. Love is that one universal power. Love is wise beyond. Love is in all places, because we recognize that is spirit, that is. So what shifts in us when we recognize, I don't simply love, I am love. I breathe because love loves itself enough to breathe itself. Love loves itself enough to sing itself. Love loves itself enough to meditate, to pray, to serve, to be the good Samaritan who stops and helps and serves and demonstrates love. I did a Google search for quotes regarding love, and the results that showed up. Now get this: 4, 310, 000, 000. That's how many results there were for the concept of quotes about love. That's a lot. That's a lot of results. And yet, many of those quotes aren't really talking about love, because they are referencing love from the concept of fighting and jealousy and lack, rather than quotes referencing such as C.S. Lewis when he says in the book, The Four Loves, he says, to love at all is to be vulnerable. Love anything and your heart will be wrung and possibly broken. If you want to make sure of keeping it intact, you must give it to no one, not even to an animal. Wrap it carefully around with hobbies and little luxuries. Avoid all entanglements. Lock it up safe in a casket or a coffin of your selfishness. But in that casket, safe, dark, motionless, airless, it will change. It will not be broken. It will become unbreakable, impenetrable, irredeemable. To love is to be vulnerable. Breathe. Because there's this idea, if Mark goes out on stage, is there a possibility that the guitar will be out of tune? Is that a possibility? Yes. Is it a possibility that Sabrina and Daniel will say, well, this is the platform we're going to meet on, and because of technology, it's like, not today, so we have to meet on a different platform. But does it stop any of us from coming together to be love in expression? No, Mark is going to get out there and sing. Doesn't matter. Sabrina and Daniel are going to bring us together. Doesn't matter. Reverend Monica is going to, is that the right slide? It's not the right, doesn't matter. The slide doesn't matter. The energy of love, the energy of being vulnerable enough to play and avail ourselves is what matters most. Now, keep in mind, I mentioned the story of the Good Samaritan. If you're not familiar with the story, here's a brief synopsis. Gentleman gets beaten, left on the side of the road for dead. A couple of religious, pious folks come by and they're like, oh, for dost thou not know I am of the religious teaching that we do not do this? Pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. I will not even pray for you. For you must change your thinking and change your life. I did it for me, do it for yourself. And they walked away. And a nut walked away, and a nut walked away. He's laying in the ditch, dying, broken. And there's this guy who's not of the religious piety. And he says, what would love do? So he picks him up, puts him on his horse, takes him to an inn, pays the innkeeper to take care of him, call a doctor, feed him, do whatever you need to do and take care of him. I'll check back in, see if you need any more money, and I'll get it to you. The Good Samaritan. Why did Jesus tell this story? Why did he convey that parable? Because we all have a spiritual imperative to do what is ours to do, to be a loving presence in the world. Each day we could ask, what does love want me to do today? As Mark sang, love is my work. What does that work call me to do today? What am I working on today? Faith without works is dead, according to the Bible. Does that also not apply to love? Love without work, love without action. Is that living or is that existing? Is that just getting by rather than fully, carpe diem, seize the day, be present, live in the moment fully? That means I have to do the work. I have to be willing and able to not just talk the talk, but to walk it, to do what is mine to do. Mahatma Gandhi said, when I despair, I remember that all through history, the way of truth and love has always been one. There have been tyrants and there have been murderers. And for a time, they have seemed to be invincible. But in the end, they always fall. Think of it, always. That's what he says. Now pause and let's recognize that when we show up and do the work, then we can elevate to such a degree, bring love as an expression to such a degree that people that he mentions, the tyrants, the murderers, those who are hurt people, those who are hurt and misaligned in their paradigms and consciousness, causing them to act in ways of tyrants and murderers, that they are then born into a mass and collective consciousness that loves on them so much, there is no need for them to dominate or be tyrannical in their actions. That we have created the atmosphere where that consciousness, those seeds, have no soil to land on because those seeds no longer exist. The seeds of domination no longer exist. We work in unity. We work in collaboration, communication, and cooperation. Tyranny, there's no need for that. Racism, that consciousness is over. Sexism, that consciousness is over with. That was so 2022. We don't live from that space any longer. We move and live in a completely different vibration. Alfred Lord Tennyson said, "'Tis better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all." Why? Why would he say that? Because being steeped in the vibration of love, rather than have never having that, never experiencing that, it is better to have had the experience, felt it at least once, than to have never felt it at all. Elie Wiesel says, the opposite of love is not hate. It is indifference. It is being silent and letting, because we can think about Hitler's Germany and recognize that there were folks like Bonhoeffer and Nimmler who said such things as, first they came for the socialists and I wasn't one, so I said nothing. And then they came for, and I wasn't one, so I said nothing, until eventually they came for me and there was no one to help me. The opposite of love is not hate. It is indifference. It is inaction. Like I said, Mark said, love is work. It is doing this practice. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, check this out. Darkness doesn't drive out darkness. Only light can do that. And hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. To which, if we take Elie Wiesel's quote, what drives out indifference? Action. Living, moving, and having our beingness as love made flesh. Breathe. There's a song by an artist named Pharrell Williams, and there's a line in this song, Freedom, where he says, atoms in the air, organisms in the sea, the sun and yes, man are made of the same things. What's love got to do with it? What's God got to do with it? Everything. Everything. Breathe. Breathe and go into that space where we know that there is no separation. Breathe. This divine inhalation and exhalation in the same way that Genesis says, and God breathed Ruach, the divine breath of life, and Adam was made a living soul. That divine breath, as God breathes itself as each one of us. Breathe. Breathe and go to that space within where we know, and we know that we know. Breathe. And as we breathe, we bring to mind those words at the Temple of Delphi, Temet Noske, know thyself. For it is in knowing ourselves that we know in the same way that Yeshua knew. If you see me, then you see that from which I emanate, that from which I come. For I and my Father, as he says, I and that power, I and that presence are one. I know myself. Breathe. So we breathe, and once again we say, what's love got to do with it? Everything. What's love got to do with my job? Everything. What's love got to do with global warming? Everything. What's love got to do with my beloved spiritual community? Everything, because everything is love. Made of love, made by love, made for love. Love loving itself. Through me, in me, as me, and what is true of me is true for each and every one of us, for there is only one power and one presence, manifesting and incarnating itself, breathing itself, meditating itself, praying itself, and singing itself, as my beloved brother soon will be doing once again, singing its voice celestial into creation. Breathe. We breathe, recognizing that as this meditation, as this service continues and this meditation comes to an end, that awareness that love goes on throughout time and space. For love is all there is. What is mine to do? Love. When am I to love? Now. Who am I to love? Everyone that I am with. That is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you love. It is so, and so it is. Love you.
Wow. Wow. Amen. There are people in my life that I call my friends, and you know, we have a really good time. We might have a little problem or a big argument, but then I know that everything will be fine. And there are those that really hurt me with the things they do, and I call them enemy. They're showing me a part of me I won't embrace, and when I hate them, I hate me. I'm gonna love my enemies. I'm gonna love my enemies like I do my friends. Just like I do my friends. When somebody tries to hurt me, I know they got some problem inside. I can fight back hard, turn around and run, or I can listen with a heart open wide. 'Cause they're really calling out for a little bit of love, for somebody who cares. It doesn't do me one ounce of harm to let them know that I'll be there. I'm gonna love my enemies. I'm gonna love my enemy like I do my friends. Just like I do my friends. Because a little bit of love may go a very long way to heal hurting life. You see, a little bit of love may be the only way to make a problem right. Oh, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. You see, we're living in a world built on greed and war, but that's not the way it has to be. Each of us here can start to make the change by throwing out that word enemy. And we can choose to live in harmony and brotherhood and treat each other with love. Just think about a world where everybody here we give hugs instead of pushes and shoves. And we love our enemies. Yeah, we love our enemy like we do our friends. Just like we do our friends. Oh, I'm gonna love my enemy. I'm gonna love my enemy just like I do my friends. Just like I do my friends. Just like I do my friends. Just like I do my friends.
Good morning. Totally grateful for the technology that brings us our speakers live. They can see us, they can hear us. We get to celebrate being together. Thank you, Daniel, because I know the work you do isn't just on Sunday. It takes a lot for this to happen. This is a time where we get to participate in the spiritual practice of showing our love with our financial gifts, our love offerings and tithes. In this, pardon me, choked up. In the spiritual practice of giving, I'd like to have you join me in our offering affirmation. Please. Offering affirmation. There it is. I give freely, and for the joy of giving, I know that seeds sown in love produce an overflowing harvest of good for me, for the center, and for all people. Lovingly I give, joyfully I receive, and so it is.
Give thanks for these tithes and love offerings. We invoke the law of circulation that as we share, we bless the reality of our true being, that we are one, that we are love. That when we serve, we bless all, we bless the whole. And we commit in our giving to creating a world that works for everyone. We commit these gifts to the highest and best good for each and all, for spiritual awakening and transformation. We are blessed to be a blessing. We are so grateful, and so it is. Who are joining us for the first time, either on site or online, we welcome you to Unity of Bellevue. We open our hearts to you. We have welcome packets for you. If you are here in person, there's a welcome packet just to the left of the sanctuary doors that has some free gifts in it and a coupon to the bookstore that you are welcome to use. If you are online, you can go to our website, unityofbellevue.org, and there is an I'm New page, and you can click on the button, and I'll send you a welcome packet. Also, we invite you to go to our website, and at the bottom of every page is a sign-up form for our weekly e-newsletter. That's the best way to stay in touch with everything that's happening, all of our events and our services. So just look for that. It comes out every Thursday morning. Other announcements. Let's see. It would help if I pulled out my announcement sheet. Today is Q&A Sunday. Just we'll take a few minute break after this service, and then you're welcome to stay in the sanctuary. It is hybrid, so it will also be live streamed, so stay online for that. The prayer chaplains are always ready and willing to pray with you and for you. You can send them prayer requests at prayerchaplains@unityofbellevue.org. You can put a prayer request card in the prayer box by the south entrance, and you can also fill out the prayer request form on our website. Starting in March, we are looking at Metaphysical Lent, and leading up to that time, we're asking for everyone to consider contributing a creative production of some kind, whether that's a poem, just a simple reflection like Mandy wrote that's in the newsletter and on our website, a song, a video short. It could be anything, just some kind of creative outlet that represents the spiraling path, that as we go through life, as we learn our spiritual lessons, we cycle. We might look at things from a new vantage point, from a larger consciousness or a greater awareness. And what does that mean? How can you express that spiraling either in picture form or in words or some other artistic expression? So all the information is online. We invite you to submit that to Mandy. Tomorrow night, Sisters in Spirit meets online on Zoom. The Zoom link is on our website, Women Supporting Women on the Spiritual Journey. That's at 6:30 p.m. And the men's group meets online this Saturday at 8:30 a.m. Again, Zoom link on the website. We invite you, if you are a man, to join for spiritual support and discussion. And thank you to all of our volunteers today who made today possible. We're grateful for you. Thank you to our virtual speaker and guest artist, Reverend Dr. Raymont and Mark Stanton-Welch. Let's give them a round of applause. We're so grateful. And this is a save the date for our community meeting that is coming up March 6th, following service. Instead of Q&A, we'll have our annual community meeting on March 6th. So save the date for that. Next week, our speaker will be Reverend Patrick Creelman. He is, we're borrowing him from CSL Seattle, and Cindy Akana is our guest artist. So we look forward to seeing you here and online. So thank you, everyone. Let's stand and sing our peace song with Mark.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. And with every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment, live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you, everyone. Stay tuned for Q&A Sunday. Have a great week. Blessings.
In the spirit of love, I live in the spirit of love. I live in the spirit of love, because love lives in me. I move in the spirit of love. I move in the spirit of love. I move in the spirit of love, because love moves in me. I reach out. I reach out in the spirit of love. I reach out in the spirit of love. I reach out in the spirit of love, because love reaches out through me. Us free.
Hello. This one is the yellow one. Yep.
Can you hear me? Can you see me? Hello, hello. 1 2 1 2.
Can you hear me?
1 2 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. You see me? Oh, you hear me?
They're both working? Yes. Thank you. I guess we should just go. How about that? Okay. Are you ready? Are we streaming? Okay. All right. Good morning. I think you all know me. I'm Susan Neidig. I'm your board president, board of trustees. So this is our Q&A. One of the other board members might be joining us, and Monica is here to help if she needs to help answer any questions. So we're here to answer any questions about our principles, about the business of our center, and what might be on your mind about our transition process. So we're open. The floor is open. Kathy, Daniel's going to run a mic so that the people online can hear you as well. For the interim minister, so the question was if we could update you on the process for the interim minister. The board actually met yesterday with one of the candidates for the interim minister. So if you probably knew that the original candidate had to recommit to South Sound, and so she's still there. And another candidate was presented to us. We did an interview yesterday. Whether or not we move forward with that candidate, I guess is the way I would put it. We learned a lot, not just from the candidate, but we learned a lot about the transition process. So in the past, I think we've had interim ministers. I know we have, because when I first joined, we had an interim minister. I don't know how much work the interim ministers were doing in the background on identity work or training of the board or supporting the selection committee, but we were looking to Unity Worldwide to provide what they call a transition consultant as our interim minister. And so that's where we are, because we really feel like that in order to attract the best minister to our center, we will have to focus on who we are, who we're about coming out of this pandemic, and kind of present our best selves to that. I think that as a community, as we come back together, it will make us a stronger, I would say healthier community to go through some of that transition work. So the process is that the board will decide who our interim minister / transition consultant is, and that person is likely to join us April or May. In the meantime, we have Monica to help us through our transition. Monica blesses us with so many things that holds our community together spiritually and administratively, and I really think that helps us go through a bit more discernment around who is the best person to be our interim minister. Did I answer your question, Kathy? Okay. All right. Ken?
Not start any active search activity until late spring or early summer?
Yes. It's so funny because I've been dealing with my own personal stuff around this. So my own personal stuff is I'm transitioning off of the board March 6th, so my term is up. So I had a tremendous sense of urgency around getting this transition process going, getting this interim minister in place, getting that package filled out and getting it posted to Unity Worldwide before I left the board. It's been just the last week that I've been able to rest in the knowing it's not all up to me, and that our board and our new board members that will be coming online in March are perfectly capable of carrying that work forward, and that we're better served with discernment. We're better served with stepping into the knowing and getting that guidance from divine on that. So yes, it will be a longer process because of the transition consulting piece of it. It will be a longer process for us to get to choosing the right person to be called to our center. So we had toyed with, because we were getting direction from Unity Worldwide, we were getting two different directions. We were getting a direction from one person who actually ran the interim minister transition group, get that packet out there as soon as possible, and you can always update it. And we were getting direction from one of the actual interim minister transition consultant candidates. No, you want to go through the identity work and some of that work before you put that packet out there, because you want to attract that you want people to feel called to this community because of who we are. And so, yes, I think that we're asking the selection team to meet. I think their first meeting is coming up soon. I saw a couple of emails going out to the selection team. I think we're going to be asking that selection team to be working on the packet, because there's stuff in there that's not, there's stuff in there about the community, about the Puget Sound and how beautiful it is and that type of thing. That, there's some narrative that needs to be written and that type of thing that I think that selection team can start working on. But the final packet probably won't go in until after some of our transition work. That answer your question, Ken? I was very long-winded, sorry. Go ahead, Linda. Actually, the question was, hand the mic to Rita. Rita, can you remember who's on the search committee?
Yes. Myself, Sharon Wolf, Catherine Lane, Brian Brewer, and Allison Ugliari, however you say. Pardon me, Allison, if you're watching, that's the committee.
Yeah, and you'll notice that both Sharon and Rita are currently on the board. Rita is also rotating off of the board. Her term ends at the same time mine does. So Sharon is the representative from the board. We asked Rita to be a part of that team because she's been through several of these, more than several. And she has a lot of experience, and so those are the members, those are the ones that are on the board. If you have, I'll just say this, we don't want, the more people you have on a committee like that, the harder it is to get that group together. But if you have a very strong calling and want to be on that committee, then let myself, Sharon, or Rita know. Okay? Questions? Ken?
This subject for many years is near and dear to my heart. I have to ask how we're doing financially. I'm obviously not seeing very many people here. I see the basket going out each Sunday with very little in it. I don't know what's happening online. And it's just a concern based on no data or no information. So, and obviously the search for a new minister, we have to eventually determine what salary we're going to offer. We're going to have to potentially relocate a transition minister, pay to move them out here, salary. Are we happy with where we are with money coming in from the pledge drive, et cetera. How are we doing?
So we are seeing the number of people coming back. We're not seeing the growth in giving at the same, so we see the number of people coming go up, but we haven't seen the growth in giving. How are we doing? We live in abundance, and we affirm and celebrate the abundance that this community has always enjoyed. I'll start there. We have a level of cash flow that would cause a bookkeeper to be concerned. I don't want to live in lack, and I don't want to affirm lack. But I would encourage any of you that think that you're still doing an auto pay, please check your bank accounts and make sure that your donations are coming in. I think there's a misconception that if you fill out a pledge card and you sign up for an auto pay, it goes on forever. It doesn't. It ends December 31st. So there are several people that might be in that condition that are being called right now. So the board is reaching out to those people that we know have always given, have always been good stewards of this center, and yet they haven't kind of bridged over from December 31st. So we're reaching out to those people now. If you might be one of those people, just check your bank statement and make sure that, because if the auto pay's not coming out, you need to get online and fill out a pledge card. Because it does two things. It turns that on, but it also helps us with our planning. So I would say that we're not in dire states. I will in the being perfectly transparent, I will say there have been times when the minister, the president, and the treasurer have met weekly over cash flow. And that was as recent as this past year and the year before, or not so much this past year, but certainly in 2020, we had a few months of touch and go cash flow. Could we even meet our payroll? And so we met weekly to monitor that and to bring an affirmation of abundance to that. And the universe provided. So we have faith, and we are tying up our camel by making sure that everyone who normally supports this center is given the opportunity to support this center. So I just encourage everyone to take a look at your bank account and make sure your auto pays are coming out. So Dorothy, our treasurer, has a really high consciousness around this, and anytime any of us in a meeting will say, oh, I'm really concerned about the cash flow, she'll kind of, well, she won't use the C word. She won't use the concern word. She really, and she actually provides a lot of leadership to us around our consciousness of abundance. So, Monica.
Just because of one of your questions, a lot of people are still sending in checks in the mail. A lot of the giving is still coming online or in the mail. So most of it is. So just to answer that question.
Kathy?
I'm relieved that you're kind of taking a breath in this process of the interim, and it just feels the right thing to do. That it's going to happen, but we don't need to push it and force it. So thank you.
Thank you for saying that. I needed someone to. I think Monica was the one that, she didn't say breathe, but she supported me in stepping back and taking a breath on this. So thank you for saying that, Kathy. Ken?
Kind of a proposal in light of all that. I move that we wrap Monica in bubble wrap for the next several months. And
would you mask you before you?
Have we had any success in the concept of rental of our space? And is that rental thing drive some labor, some payroll that we otherwise wouldn't need to have, or not?
Answer until the mic gets to Monica, but we are seeing more rentals. It does drive a monitor, so we do pay a monitor who's typically Jim. Thank you, Jim. If it's after hours, but we are getting rentals back, and now I'll let Monica take over.
Yeah, we have seen a little bit of uptick in requests for rentals. It doesn't always translate because we are asking people to be vaccinated and masked. But we do have a birthday party coming this month. We have a recital coming the next month. We have Lifeline here again next month. We have the parking lot rental in the summer. We do have the preschool that's here Monday through Friday. We are trying to rent out perhaps the youth wing again this summer to either the Northwest Chinese School, or there was another camp that from California that's wanting to reach into this area that has reached out to us. So we're trying to fill that for the summer. The fall is still being worked out, what's going to happen in the youth wing, because that's the more steady income. It's not just the one-offs. It's actually using the building and getting continual rental income that we can count on. So that's still being worked on for a preschool. But yeah, so that's where we are right now.
So I'm just being really transparent here. We did have a request from a Catholic school to rent our building. And it was a fairly large for our space, Catholic school. They were going to do changes to the building. I mean, they were going to have to get building permits and do changes and that type of thing. And actually, they came to us 3 different times with proposals. And the board considered all 3 proposals. And we had a lot of, because it was a slam dunk to solve our budget problem, to have this group come in here and rent our building. However, there was a lot of control that we were going to lose on our youth wing. We weren't going to be able to do our preschool, which is just a piece of it, but we were going to lose a lot of control for our Sunday morning youth program. We also, I have to say, the energy was very Catholic, and it just being transparent. But the board has decided every time they've brought us a proposal to say no. Yeah, it was. Thank you, Vic, for the thumbs up. So it has been a very, I would say, a very hard decision to make, and yet a very easy decision to make from a spiritual standpoint. Nothing against the Catholics, we love all, but the energy wasn't right. Vic?
And there's got to be religious groups out there that look for space that aren't Catholic, that might not have the same level of control stuff out there. So I would encourage just being very open to that, and I'm sure you are.
I think we are open. I think we are open to a lot of different groups. I think as Monica has said, we're getting a lot more requests for rentals, and some of them are because we're requiring masks and vaccine. They're not renting our space right now. So, and the board, we will continue to revisit some of the decisions we've made about that. But the vaccines in particular, we will come to the membership and we will do a survey like we did on opening the sanctuary up. So sensitive to people, we will make sure we come back to the membership to do a survey. So
I was just going to say, if we are open to other groups coming in, I think the issue that came up that, they were going to be here Sunday morning, just kind of being specific on the availability of the facility and what areas, if there are different spiritual communities that might be interested, because we do have outlets to reach out through the Eastside Interfaith Social Concerns Council group in different places, so which we are a part of. So if there's anything specific that we can ask for, we can do that.
Linda, I would connect you with Monica so that, because I know you have, you're a part of the interfaith. Right, and so I think that what you're asking for is, can we be specific about times that are or are not available for renting this space? And so you're aware of it in case people come and ask you. So I would just connect the two of you. And yeah, okay, great. Thank you. Any other questions? Linda?
Are there any special things that are going to be needed looking towards the holiday ahead? I mean, Easter, preparations, things like that will be coming up that we might need different groups of volunteers for. I know that Sabrina's been asking about the Sunday service volunteers, but I'm not sure about the other things that might be coming up in the next, that's pretty soon, actually, month or so.
There's a group of volunteers coming in to help with the mailing of the letter that goes out before the membership meeting. You have that covered? Okay. We normally we used to do a Blue Jean Sunday or Saturday, I don't know what, before Easter. And so we usually have a spring cleanup before Easter. So we probably want to consider that, in the landscape team is calling for volunteers for that. Monica?
And I know Sabrina's aware, she's considering doing another drive-through like we did last year, of the Easter drive-through where they pick up the Easter baskets and we have the thing through the parking lot again. So she's considering that, and I think the cleanup of the landscaping, the grounds would be before that. So, yeah.
And anybody, I was a part of that group that was handing stuff out to the kids. And the people that came through that drive-through, there were, I would say maybe 15% were people from our own community, maybe 20, the rest of it. So it was like 80% from the community where they heard about it, and there were, I just think that when you see the mothers and the fathers that have been dealing with kids at home and they're working from home, they have this pandemic look to them, right? So their eyes are like this, and we were at the first station, and so they would come in, and especially when it was the moms, they'd say, "Thank you so much for doing this," and it was just such a great experience because the kids were like all jumping around in the vans and cars, and it was so if you weren't a part of that last year, think about volunteering and being a part of it, because it was a really great experience. Linda?
I just wanted to thank everybody who volunteered and brought in clothing for CFH. I was surprised at how much we did bring in. We have another bunch to do for our January giving from the community, and so I'll be bringing that over, and I think we have other ones coming in the near future, so there's always opportunities. But thank you to everybody who brought in things.
And thank you. You organized that, right, Linda? Yes. So I want to thank Linda for for taking the lead on that, because these monthly projects, they can only happen if we have someone that steps up and takes the lead on it. So I want to really, really thank you for that.
Just going to mention this also because the Eastside Interfaith Social Concerns Council is something we've been working with for a number of years. And I was just this past week elected to the board of the Eastside Human Services Forum. And when I do this, I represent that organization, but I also always state that I'm from Unity of Bellevue. So we are participating in a number of things, and I think this is a broader one that I can bring information to us about too.
Thank you for your service that way, Linda. Any other questions? I think this has been the liveliest Q&A I've ever been in, Corsay. Thank you so much. Paul.
So yesterday I received a letter from Sarah Agassi requesting if I had any interest in serving on the board that I would come forward, and I just was curious. I want to first off say thank you, because I think we were in discussion last night about this is probably the first time we've ever seen any appeal go out to our community asking for board membership or board involvement. And I wonder, do you know how many of those letters went out?
Every member. Yeah, because in order to serve on the board, you have to be a member. And I just have to thank Sarah and Jean Palmetier from our board is on that team. Susan Murray is on that team. Ken is on that team. Ken's on that thing. Ken's on that team. Normally it's the minister and 3 community members, but we didn't want to burden Monica with that, so we asked Ken to join as well with his. And the team, I just think I think part of it was that the minister in past, the minister has taken a really strong role in identifying candidates. And without having a minister, we kind of, the team has just taken it over. And I agree with you when I saw that the letters were going out. I think it's a fantastic. And maybe in the past we did that, Ken, I don't know. No, we didn't. So I think I think we're setting a precedent that we should continue with. Yeah, because go ahead, Paul. Sorry, Daniel, back there.
To that point, and to those that are online here, if you have any thoughts of getting re-involved with Unity of Bellevue, this is a great opportunity. And I would call out to those that have management skills, people that enjoy that type of involvement in any organization, to consider that as volunteering to become a candidate. I'd love to see a lot more candidates than what we've seen in the past and past elections.
Thank you, Paul. Ken?
I'm sorry, I got to run, but just to tag on to that, when I first thought of this, finding new board members, what are they stepping into with all this transition and things? But after thinking about it for about 2 minutes, I think this is such a glorious opportunity. I mean, we're coming out of the COVID thing. We're looking for a new minister. I think there's never been more leverage to influence the future of Unity of Bellevue than there is right now. So for those who are really committed to Unity of Bellevue, have a vision of the future, I mean, join board membership. This is a wonderful opportunity at this point to really take a leadership role in the future. So I think it's a really exciting opportunity for someone who has that interest.
Yeah, what's the timetable, though, for responding? Because don't you have to...
I think they just announced that the annual meeting is March 6th.
Is March 6th. We want the candidates identified. We'd prefer to have them identified by February 20th. Are we going, is live stream ending? Is that what you're trying to tell us, Monica? No, there's a question, there's a statement from Jean. Okay.
I was just going to say, I think there's a requirement that they need to be identified to include their bios in the mailing that goes out in advance.
Yeah, so the mailing will be mailed on the 24th of February.
So they have to be
we need to get it to Monica by the 22nd. So they're asking for people to identify by the 15th, I think. Yeah, something like that. So Jean has a statement that Monica's going to read.
So this is from Jean Palmetier on our board and on the nominating committee. This year is a two-prong approach, an open call and a selection. This is a change, but we felt it would be the right thing to do. To some extent, it's more than being without a minister. It's really a change in approach. So.
Yeah, the other thing that we've never done is we've never had, we went out and did a search on other ministries and how many people they have on their board, because we've had an open position. So we actually we still have an open position on the board that has not been filled. As a part of the membership meeting, we're going to bring a bylaw change to reduce our board by 1. So instead of having 7 members on the board, we would have 6. We went out and did a search of all the ministries in both Unity, CSL, all New Thought in the region, actually down into Oregon, kind of in the Northwest region. And it would make sense to go to 6. Many other ministries have 6 or less. But one thing that some of them do is they have alternates. That are not on the board yet, but these are people that have indicated that they feel called to service. And you hold those alternates in case an opening comes up, like one came up a year ago. And you hold the alternates, and then the alternates just slide right into service. And to me, that makes a lot of sense. We haven't talked to the nominating committee about that, but it is something that we may have more conversation about, because it makes sense to have alternates. It's not in our bylaws to have alternates. I don't know if you have to have it in your bylaws to have alternates, because it's just really a pool of candidates that you've identified who are willing to step into service should an opening come up. So lots of new, I think, innovative and creative things are happening right now. So this is a great community. If there are no more questions, any hands going up for questions? Any questions online? No. All right, I want to thank everyone for being here. This is, well, it's been one of the best ones I've been at, but then I got to hold the mic, so thank you. Thank you.